Hello everyone and welcome back to C.A.R. Entertainment. I'm your host Alan Hamilton, and today guys we're going to be continuing with our A21 digital technology revision videos. We're now going to be talking about transition media, which means we're getting close to the end of the course that I will be taking you through here. So we'll just get straight into the transmission media, basically how we transmit different media formats and basically all those different methods. So it's not maybe what you think it is by how I'm explaining it at the moment, but you'll know what it means by the time we go through them all. So the first ones are broadband and bandwidth. Well, you need to know what they are really because they're two big features in transmission media. So the difference in how you distinguish between the two, well, it's quite simple. Broadband is a wide bandwidth, so it's a type of bandwidth. So broadband is a wide bandwidth data transmission which transports multiple signals and data and traffic types. So this thing that you're probably watching this video on is powered by a broadband, and that means that it is transmitting and transporting multiple signals and different types of traffic. The actual bandwidth then, so it says broadband is a wide bandwidth. What type of bandwidth is it? Well, bandwidth is a measure of capacity of communication channels. It is a range of frequencies that a channel can handle. The transmission rate is often referred to as line speed. So this is like if you're at 100 megabytes per second, that's your line speed. So your metal cable, which can be divided into twisted pair and coaxial. So this is the first type of transmission media. It's more or less just your cabling. So we'll go through twisted pair first, which can come into two pairs itself. So you get twisted pair, which is unshielded and shielded, and then you have coaxial. So there's three types of metal cable. Twisted pair is just a common cable which is often used for ordinary telephone lines. Several twisted pairs can be brought together to form a twisted cable, and these are normally used for data transmission. The first type of this is an unshielded twisted pair, always known as UTP, and this consists of two independently insulated wires but are twisted around one another, with one wire carrying a signal while the other is only used to cancel out interference such as electrical interference. The twisting will reduce the signal loss over any given length of cable and will allow for a very high speed of data transmission. The advantages of this unshielded twisted pair is that there's high transmission speeds and there's cheap cost of installation. But the disadvantage is that it can only be used over a short distance. It's susceptible to radio and electrical frequency interference, and there could be some security concerns through intercepting data. So we go through shielded twisted pair then, which is shielding protecting from corruption due to interference. So this basically means you're not going to get any interference. It's less susceptible to interference, like I've just said. It will support higher transmission rates. It is used in the environment where electrical noises are high, like factories. The shielding will also make it harder to install, which is a disadvantage. And shielded twisted pair has this thing called attenuation, which is a general term that refers to any education in the strength of signal. Coaxial cable is two conductors which, whenever one wire is down the center of the cable, which may be single-stranded, it is made up of many strands that are braided around insulation for the inner wire. So once more, I'll go over that again. The coaxial cable is two conductors with one wire down the center of the cable, which may be single-stranded, and then which may be made, or which it may be single-stranded, or it may be made up of many strands which are braided around the insulation for the inner wire. The advantages are fast transmission speeds and it's cheap to purchase, but the disadvantages is that there's a short distance of communication and its inability of being physically inflexible. So fiber optic then, which is not a metal cable, this is completely different. We're going to something completely different again. It's very fine glass strands which allow the rapid transmission of data using modulated light beams. It involves cladding, which is insulated material, and a jacket is protective covering. It gives unidirectional, which is two fibers being used, one for sending and one for receiving. It's also good for very high speed, long distance data transmission, and it is not subject to electrical interference. The advantages of fiber optic is that you have greater bandwidth, so there's bigger data capacity, there's less susceptible to interference, it's transmitted in a digital form, and it travels in a secure way which is impossible for hackers to intercept. The disadvantages is that it's expensive to install. So what is the actual differences between bandwidth and fiber optic? And so, well, what is the difference between fiber optic and metal cables through bandwidth and security? So we're going to go through those. So the best type of question you'll be asked is explain the difference between fiber optic cables and metal cables with respect to security or bandwidth. So in respect to bandwidth, fiber optic has more bandwidth than a metal cable. The single cable will consist of multiple strands, and each strand is capable of carrying multiple data signals, where metal cable capacity are only equal to one of the strands. In security, fiber optic is more secure as it is difficult to intercept because you have to destroy its signal more or less. So fiber optic is more secure as it is difficult to intercept its signal without destroying it. The signal in a metal cable is detected electromagnetically, which is much easier to do so. The physical casing means it's more secure in fiber optic, and the metal cable is susceptible to interference due to having a copper medium, which whereas fiber optic uses a light medium. I've been Don Hamilton from C.A.R. Entertainment, and we're going to go through the last wee bit here, which is Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. You don't really need to know it because you know it through your protocols and you know it through your mobile technology, but we'll quickly go over it. So it's a short range of wireless communication standard that use low power radio waves. That's Bluetooth. Wi-Fi is connecting computers to a network by a wireless transmitter via radio waves. Makes use of radio waves in order to connect to a local area network widely used to connect to the internet from a laptop or smartphone. I've been Dylan Hamilton from CA Entertainment, and I will see you next time.